fascinated by the people like Grandma Gatewood who slung a sack over her shoulder and wore Keds and managed to through hike this. It shows you that the nicest gear in the world isn't necessarily, and how much money you spend isn't necessarily the determining factor that ensures a successful through hike and whatever you deem successful. And before anybody praises me again, it cost me $0, and I'm the fortunate one to be able to put in the right place and right time. And that spiritual algorithm is so much bigger than me, and who is responsible for putting us in the same place, and for me having exactly the right items that have cost me $0 that can contribute to his hike. And that's the beautiful stuff in life, and that's the stuff I really enjoy. And had got more joy out of seeing just how grateful this individual was for the items, and just how perfectly they fit him, as opposed to, you know, what they could do for me. So every year, man, thousands of hikers come out here, you know, determined to through hike the Appalachian Trail, and many of them have planned this for years and got the finest gear they could afford, and have trained relentlessly. Many shakedown hikes, many smaller, you know, 3 to 4 day hikes, and testing out their gear and making modifications, and ample resources for resupply, and planning meticulously, you know, food drops, and to try to enhance their means of making it, and you know, that's probably the best way to do this, and the safest way to do this, because make no mistake, it's dangerous out here, but also every year there's, you know, not everybody has the same means as everybody else, and there's always a hiker or two who comes out here with, you know, the resources that they have, and the gear that they have in their closet, and you know, an inefficient backpack, and, you know, a pair of tennis shoes from their closet, and you know, a Walmart hammock with whatever tarp they can find to keep themselves dry, and you know, they use their limited resources on what they can afford, maybe like a Sawyer squeeze water filter, but, you know, the bag they use that Sawyer gives them, which is very ineffective and inefficient, and most people just throw those away, and they live out of hiker boxes, and which a lot of people might say is a dangerous way to hike the trail, but not everybody has the same resources as others, and not everybody has the time to prepare and to, you know, save, and whatever your reason for coming out here. I'm fascinated by the people like Grandma Gatewood who slung a sack over her shoulder and wore Keds, and managed to through hike this. It shows you that the nicest gear in the world isn't necessarily, and how much money you spend isn't necessarily the determining factor that ensures a successful through hike and whatever you deem successful. So I'm fascinated by those people, and just their determination, and it says a lot about their character to come out here with inadequate gear and whatever they have as a means, and to make an attempt at this, and for whatever reason, that's the reason I'm out here, and, you know, to be helpful to hikers. And I guess I wasn't planning on that, but, you know, last year so many people gave back to me, and whether it was I broke 4 trekking poles, and I'd get to a hostel and they would have a pair of trekking poles there for me, and they were sufficient enough for me, that somebody else had scrapped, and so, you know, what I love more than anything is being able to give to others, and being more than that, you know, the significance of being in the right place, and I have something that somebody may need, and the complexity of the right place, right time, and, you know, the universal algorithm, or the spiritual algorithm as I call it, you know, how the universe or God puts two people together at the same place, and one is not in need of anything, but that I have something that can contribute to their success of a hike. And I happen to meet one of those hikers this year, and he has a $40 backpack, and certainly not made for comfort or for a through hike, and just something he had laying around, and using a palm frond for a trekking pole, and a $40 hammock, where the tarp isn't seam sealed and leaks on him, and is using a Sawyer bag, Sawyer filtered plastic, you know, tiny bag with a little mouth on it to try to filter water, and he's making do, and lo and behold, here I am. You know, I have an Osprey 38-liter pack that I essentially got for free last year. You know, my 58-liter Exos was starting to rip on me, and someone told me I could trade it in, so I go to an outfitter to trade it in when they didn't have a 58-liter pack there. They had a 38-liter, and I said, just give me that. And it was the summer months, and I essentially hiked New York with that, and you know, it was too narrow in the back for me, and too tall, and didn't fit my needs, so I ended up switching to a ULA Ohm 2.0 that I summited with. So essentially I have this 38-liter Osprey pack that has maybe 75 miles on it that I would probably never use again, that I happen to bring, and it cost me $0. So I gifted to this guy, and he's so grateful. And likewise, I have a Dutch wear hammock system that I bought in Damascus. Well, the tornado that I was in last year threw a limb through the tarp, and Dutch wear was so kind to warranty the tarp for me, and they sent me a brand new tarp. But all I did was patch the old tarp, so I still have the old tarp and a brand new tarp, and it essentially cost me $0. So I donate the old tarp to him, and he's just ecstatic. And I have a set of, you know, fairly expensive black diamond trekking poles. That, like I said, I've gotten 4 sets of trekking poles last year, and these trekking poles cost me $0 because I bought a pair of trekking poles in New Hampshire, brand new ones, to get through New Hampshire with, and Thrive liked them, and she gave me these other expensive trekking poles, but fairly worn out, and against my better wishes for her, she cashed out me the money for the trekking poles. So the trekking poles that I have cost me $0, and here's a guy using a palm frond, one palm frond, thin, brittle, to use as a walking stick. So I'm able to gift him the trekking poles, and the only finances it cost me was a CNOC bag that was it's a knockoff that I bought off of Amazon for $15. So, but this gentleman now looks like a brand new hiker, and he's got a fishing backpack that fits him perfectly. That didn't fit me. Maybe I would use it for a day pack, but it cost me $0. He's got a top of the line tarp that has been sealed and patched up. That'll is certainly better than the tarp that was getting wet through and getting his stuff wet, and he's got some trekking poles and an adequate way to filter water now, and he's just, you know, it just blows me away how the universe puts us together, and I wasn't planning on giving that stuff away, but I brought it for a reason, and here's a guy who needs it, and isn't asking for anything, and is just overwhelmed with gratitude, and just what fascinates me is how out of all the people here, how we collide and meet each other more than once, and then each time I'm able to upgrade his gear and make his hike a little more pleasant. And it's already made my trip here 100% worth it to be able to do that for somebody. And after I had been so like blessed last year, and you know, what marvels me is that this guy, his determination, his character, and he's not out here to accomplish anything. He's just out here looking for the adventure. And a lot of people might say that that's you know, irresponsible or dangerous to not have, you know, quality gear out here. But you'd be saying that about Grandma Gatewood too, and others that came before us that didn't need Z-Packs ultralight gear or you know, top quality stuff in order to enjoy the beauties of nature. And certainly I want people to be safe, but you could be out here with what you have, and the trail will provide, man. It provided for me, and if anything, I believe that 100% that this guy will forever give away his comfort items to somebody who might need it as well. And before anybody praises me again, it cost me $0, and I'm the fortunate one to be able to put in the right place and right time. And that spiritual algorithm is so much bigger than me, and who is responsible for putting us in the same place, and for me having exactly the right items that have cost me $0 that can contribute to his hike. And that's the beautiful stuff in life, and that's the stuff I really enjoy. And had got more joy out of seeing just how grateful this individual was for the items, and just how perfectly they fit him, as opposed to, you know, what they could do for me. So anyway, here's some clips of this young hiker and his amazing character and determination to come out here with what he could afford, and not let those things limit his ability to come out here and enjoy nature and try to get through something that's just miraculous. So best of luck to him. Like a hiker now, dude. That's cool, man. Super glad.
Yeah, it feels awesome.
Dude, it looks good on you, man. Yeah. So it's not too skinny in the back and too high?
No, it feels amazing. I don't even have, it's not even putting any pressure on my shoulders like the other ones. Horrible.
Unicorn Gap.
Well, we're twinsies now.
No, man. You guys are definitely. You guys are the green pack. Yeah, dude, I'm going to go back and get them. Like, you might not get them until tomorrow or the next day, though, so. You can always use this palm frond.
Yeah.
Look at there, man. All right, man. Text me later on. Just let me know where you guys are at and if you guys need anything, man. All right? So, love you guys, man.
Thank you, man.
Yeah, man. Be good.